guys, my name is Misty Mitchell, and I am the Director of Conservation Programs for the Johnny Morris Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium in Springfield, Missouri. If you've never been to Wonders of Wildlife in Springfield, Missouri, it's an absolutely amazing facility, and I highly recommend that you come and see us. We're going to take you on a trip around the world. We're going to take you to Africa, to Antarctica, to the Arctic, into the Amazon, the mangroves, and the swamps. Pretty much get to see every ecosystem across the world. We get to see 35,000 live animals. Can't wait for you to come see us. Unfortunately, though, we are closed due to the safety of our staff, our guests, and our team members. And once we're able to open, we will make sure we post that on our website and our social media. But even though we're closed, conservation is still happening every single day at Wonders of Wildlife. And we have got a great opportunity to bring conservation right to you. And that's what we're here to tell you about. It's called Mission Conservation. And we're going to bring it to your home right where you are. And that's what we're excited to tell you. We have been partnering with Agents of Discovery. Agents of Discovery is a mobile gaming platform that uses augmented reality to get kids up, active, and motivated. And when they work with Wonders of Wildlife, we get them motivated in conservation. And I want to introduce Mary Clark. She's the Chief Executive Director of Agents of Discovery.
Well, thank you so much, Misty, and it is such a pleasure to be here with you today. We are so excited, and we just love your facility. It is world-class, it is fun, it is engaging, and we are so excited about using augmented reality gaming to bring all of those amazing conservation materials and education that you have into the homes of young learners across the country. That's really what it's about. Kids, as we know, love to play video games. So the question then becomes, why don't we make those all about conservation education? If they love gaming, let's get them learning and using that tech for good. So we are so excited to be a part of this, Misty. We can't wait to bring all those thousands of animals and the amazing things you have into homes right now where people cannot get to the aquarium. Some of them are stuck at home. They can't get outside at all. So we're just so pleased to be part of this and support you with some of the technology to make it really fun and engaging.
And we're excited to be working with you. And right now, there's no better time because, as you said, some people are stuck at home and kids are on technology. I mean, the research shows that kids are spending between 7 hours a day in technology. So technology is not going away. So what we have to do with conservation is figure out how to use technology to get kids engaged in conservation, get them interested in the outdoors, and then they'll take it to that next level, and then they'll be outdoorsmen. And that's what we're excited about. And this technology is going to allow us to do that. Eventually, when we reopen, Agents of Discovery is going to be inside of our facility. So if you come on a school field trip or you come with your family, you're going to be able to experience Agents of Discovery in an amazing way. But until then, we're going to bring it to you in your home. Every single Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time, we launch a new mission. So every week, you get to participate in a mission that we are launching, and we're excited to be able to tell you about that. So we are able to go to our website, which is wondersofwildlife.org/missions. And from that website page, you will be able to see and be able to engage in conservation. First thing you're going to do is you're going to need a cell phone. Once you have your cell phone, you're going to be able to download the app. You can download the app in the iStore or into the Apple store. You download that, Agents of Discovery. It's completely free. There's no charge to that. Get it downloaded. You're going to type in missions. From there, you'll type in that missions, and you'll be able to play the game. And that's super exciting to be able to play the game. We're excited to be able to do that. Super easy, cell phone. Log into wondersofwildlife.org/missions, be able to find the mission, be able to work with that. So really got that going. This week, we're doing all about birds. Well, why are we doing birds this week? Because guess what? May 9th is Global Big Day. And Global Big Day allows us as citizens to get involved in conservation and in science. We're going to be able to help the scientists all over the world. You know, scientists are not in every backyard. They're not in every community. And so by being able to go out and counting the birds in your backyard, you're going to be helping all of these scientists learn and engage information on birds, whether it be the habitats they live in or the migration patterns. Those are all super important to them. And last year on Global Big Day, they had 92,000 birds recorded. This year, we're shooting for over 100,000. So May 9th, go outside, 5 to 10 minutes. That's all you need to spend. If you want to spend more, that's awesome. The more time you can see, the more birds you're going to be able to see. So what's super cool today is we have a really, really cool special guest. And I think it might have feathers because today is all about birds, right? So I'm going to introduce Tim Parker from Patuxent Research Refuge near Washington, D.C. He is the lead education ranger with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service. Tim.
Hey, Misty. Hey, Mary. I do have a little friend here, and this is an American kestrel. And American kestrels live all across our country in the lower 48 states, and they are a bird that you can see in your backyard often. And if you go on a walk, keep an eye for power lines because they like to hang out on top of the power lines and look for their food. Well, what's really cool about them is that they can, just like you said, tell us a lot about what's going on in our environment. So there are little signs from nature about how our environments are doing. And when I look at an American kestrel, well, I look in their eye and I see the health of a meadow. Now that's a weird thing to say, but I think at the after we get finished taking a look at her, we'll kind of understand what it means to look in her eye and see the health of a meadow. Well, the first thing is you watch her here on the screen. She keeps that head moving all the time. And she is super interested in everything going on because she has so much energy and she needs to eat a lot to feed that energy. Well, what does she do with all that energy? She is hunting all the time, looking for that next meal. And she's looking for that next meal in a place, kind of what you see in behind me, a meadow. And she's going to be looking for grasshoppers and crickets, especially dragonflies, and some mice too. Well, as she's looking around, she's gauging distances with those eyes, and her eyes are a bit different than our eyes. Well, our eyes, I've got a diagram here, and our eyes, they are round, but her eyes have a little bit more structure to them. They've got a big triangle at the back end of them, and they're a little bit longer than our eyes, deeper. And what that means is that she can see at least 2 times better than what we can see in terms of distance. And so when I go outside and I look at the grass, well, she sees the grass, but she sees the bugs sitting on the grass, her food. And so those eyes let her find all of that food that she's needing to keep that energy going. Well, the other thing is that she is able to see some colors that we can't see. And so I want to give us a little bit of taste, and I'm hoping it's going to come through on your screen. And this right here, this yellow bird, well, we see it as yellow, but a kestrel is going to be able to see some extra colors in there because she has some extra eye sensors, some extra, oh, let's see if it's going to show up on our screen. She can see in ultraviolet. And what's going on is with that extra ultraviolet light vision, she's able to pick out things that we might not be able to see and hunt them. I don't think it was really showing up there on the screen, but so that extra color vision is really going to help her. And so when she looks out at a meadow, she's definitely going to find and see those meals to eat. And to keep going, she's going to have to need to protect those special eyes. And she does that in a couple of ways. Well, one, when she's flying and diving on her food, she can't have the sunlight get into her eyes. And so what she does is, well, look at those black stripes. You might notice something like that on cheetahs. Well, what do athletic players do? Well, what they do to keep the glare out of their eyes is they put a little black paint right here on their cheek. But she doesn't need to do that because she's already got those black stripes. Well, there's something else she does to keep her eyes in perfect working condition so she can find her food. When I get in a dangerous environment that might hurt my eyes, I put on a pair of goggles to keep my eyes safe. Well, she doesn't have goggles to put on, so she actually carries them with her all the time. And they're kind of hidden right now, but they start out at the front of the beak. And then when she's in a dangerous situation, maybe gathering food, she shuts that eyelid, and that eyelid is clear. It's called the nictitating membrane. And that protects her eyes to make sure when she's flying around in a sandy environment or grabbing some food, that eye is going to stay safe. Well, with the protection of their eye and then that extra color vision and then that extra depth perception so she can see so far away, she's definitely going to find her food if it's there. And so she sits above a meadow and she looks down at the grass and she's looking and she's looking. And if there's a grasshopper to eat, if there is some dragonflies to eat, she's going to find them. However, what happens if she doesn't see them? Well, she's not going to hang out there anymore. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't go to dinner and see nothing there to eat and then just stay there. Well, she does the same thing. She gets up and moves on. And so that helps us understand how our environment is doing. Because anytime you go outside and you see a kestrel around, you know something about that meadow. You know that that meadow has insects and it's got mice. And if it's got insects and mice, it's definitely going to be a healthy environment. And so our kestrels with those special eyes are our signal that things are going okay in a meadow. So my challenge to everybody watching is, hey, go on your walk, take a look out for these kestrels, and there's a couple of ways that you might be able to spot them from a distance. Her tail is going to bob up and down when she gets relaxed and balanced. So take a look at a bird that's got a tail bobbing up and down. And then the other thing is, like all birds of prey that hunt meat, she's going to have a hooked beak. And so pay attention because she's still small, but she is different in that she is a bird of prey with that special beak. Hey, it's great joining you guys. Great seeing you again.
That's right. We've had a bit of a metaphor going on because she's disappearing a little bit when she's not in front of you.
Here we go.
Bring her right in front of you, Tim. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. But that's a good metaphor for us to think about. We do not want these beautiful, amazing birds to disappear because, as you're saying, they indicate that the ecosystem is healthy. And how great is that to know that when you see a kestrel, you can know something about the meadow. That's amazing.
That is amazing, Tim. That's a beautiful, beautiful bird. One of the cool things is right here on the corner of Sunshine and Campbell in Springfield, Missouri, we actually have kestrels that nest in the Bass Pro Sign. And so we have a lot of insects that fly around, and I think that's what they feed on here. But you can actually hear them talking to each other, and that's how you can first pick them up is through their sound, which is super cool.
One of the questions here coming across, Tim, is will they eat bees?
You know, I've never seen her get one, and that's the great thing about the internet. You can look it up and find out what's so much more details. But what I do see them getting a lot of is larger insects like dragonflies. You know, I've got several. When I go outside and get pictures of them, it's like once a day. And if I'm just photographing our kestrels, I'm going to see one with a dragonfly. You know, a risk of a bee sting. You know, she when I'm watching her and watching her behaviors, she gets interested in bees and she'll track them like she's hunting. But I've never seen a kestrel actually get one, so I don't know.
Okay, and another question: do they fly south for the winter?
A little bit. When we think about migration and birds are flying, you know, several states over, then, you know, that's like a true migration. Kestrels are going to fly. They're going to migrate about a state or a state and a half, and it varies on where you are in the country, but they do move south. And that's because as it gets colder in the winter, there's going to be less things to eat. And so they need to move south, and they bunch up in the lower states. And then when it gets warm again and all the insects are coming out in the north, they're going to travel back north.
Cool. Just one more question here. Where do they nest?
That is a really good question, because, you know, that has to do a lot with how they do in the environment. Unlike many birds who build nests on top of limbs, they don't do that. What they do is they get inside of a tree or another structure, and they put their nest in there. That's where they hatch, and that keeps them safe. They're a small bird, and so bigger birds of prey, bigger hawks, they can come in and get the kestrel. So they need an extra protection. So they're going to nest inside a tree. However, what happens if there's no big trees around with big holes for them to get into? Nowhere to be safe, nowhere to build a nest. And so what lots of people do is they get a nest box put up. And hold on just 1 second, I got one right here.
Okay. Keep it in front of you.
Oh, okay, keep it in front of me. They're looking at it. I'm like, oh, can I get it there? This is a nest box. It's for a smaller bird, a bluebird, but it's very simple. And the trick is that it's just natural wood, and you hang it up on a tree or even a pole, and it works just fine. The birds don't mind that it's not on it's not really a tree. And so we have those here at this refuge and at many other refuges, and certainly many people put them around their homes. And our kestrels can use those along with several different woodpeckers. There's owls that need nest boxes. So many birds need our help with some nest boxes. And the other thing we can do is, hey, if you've got an old tree that's not dangerous in terms of falling over and hurting somebody, if you can keep that old dead tree up, well, that's going to be a special home for lots of bugs and our birds that are going to nest inside of it with some holes. So but thank you so much for having me. Any more questions?
Wow, that was amazing, Tim. You are so full of knowledge. We'd love to have your special guest with us. That's super cool. And could maybe on May 9th, do you think somebody might be able to see a kestrel in their backyard?
Absolutely. And so again, the trick is keep an eye out and especially look for power lines, and look for a small bird the size of a dove, but its beak is going to be shaped a little bit different, and look for that wagging tail, and you might be able to see one.
All right, so if you want to get involved and you want to count birds and become a citizen scientist, all you have to do is go on to eBird, create an account, and on May 9th, go out and count the birds in your backyard. And just think, maybe you might see a kestrel just like the one Tim's brought for us today. So real quickly, we're going to show you the website. That way you can see where you would go to play mission conservation. So it's wondersofwildlife.org/missions. Super easy. All you need is a cell phone. You're going to download the app. It is a free app called Agents of Discovery. And then you're going to click on Mission Monday in your search bar. What you'll need to have is what's called triggers. And so you have to have these images, and these images are important because that is what unlocks the fun. And you can actually get those on our website. I recommend that you print them. And the reason that we want you to print them is because then you can hide them all over the house. On a really nice day, you can hide them in the backyard, and you can reuse them every single week. So you only have to print them once. You'll scan your phone, and then when you scan your phone, you're going to get a really fun, engaging activity that you're going to get to do with your kids. And every single week, we have a new mission and a new activity that you get to participate in. So this week, all about birds. We have 2 levels, an emerging learner, which is for young kids, K through 4th grade, and then an advanced learner, which is 5th through high school. And not only do we have the missions that you can participate in, we also have an activity guide. This activity guide you can open up and we'll give you activities that you can participate in all week, from helping attract birds and creating a little, almost a little grocery store. That way they can find materials for their nest, to going birding and getting involved with Global Big Day and being able to watch those birds and giving you how to do that and becoming a citizen scientist. So some amazing opportunities. When you finish these missions, you get rewards. Everybody likes rewards, right? So you're going to get a digital badge. And this week's digital badge is Agent Hummingbird, a filter that you're going to get for Snapchat. You guys like to get on your Snapchat? So you get to share this filter with all of your friends. We've got Agent Hummingbird here trying to get some nectar from the flowers, and he's telling you to keep on exploring. So this week, it's all about birds. Guess what? But next week, we're going to be back here, and we're going to be learning about endangered species, learning how we can protect endangered species. And what's really cool, this week we had Tim and the Kestrel, which were fun and exciting to see. Next week, we're going to have Lisa Ryan, and she's with Sunshine Coast out of Australia. So somebody from Australia is going to be talking about endangered species in Australia. So we're excited to have you. Thanks for coming. Download Mission Mondays, Agents of Discovery. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Tim, for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Go team. Have fun this weekend exploring.